doing here? You don't have to look after your grandchildren? Huh? What?
No grandchildren.
So what is she doing then all the time, huh? Dilly-dallying around, huh? So what are you still doing here? Huh? What else do you want to know, huh? I told already everything. So what are you doing in this body, huh? Been quite a long time that you've been in this body, huh? Still not tired of it? Still not sick of it? Want to get out and get a new body? Yeah. Oh. Just like we change our cars, yeah? Once our car gets old, we get a new one. Yeah? If we don't have the money, we can't get a new car. We have to walk by foot, yeah? That's help. So now do you find the answer to the question, what is the purpose of your life? Huh? Huh? Just smiling. Acquiring money, building a house, having a family. That's the purpose? When you die, you have to leave everything behind. You can't take the money with you, you can't take the house, you can't take the family. Yeah? Family is probably happy if you leave a lot of money. So which picture do you like better? The picture of running in a hamster wheel? No? Or the one in the roller coaster? It's the same thing. Up and down, up and down, up and down. And we are so excited when it goes down. The first noble truth is the truth of dukkha. And we still don't seem to understand it. Dissatisfaction. And to outside it's too hot. Dukkha. If it's too cold, dukkha. If we are hungry, dukkha. If we are sweating, dukkha. If you feel dirty, dukkha. Oh, so much dukkha. But we don't want to see it. We get up, when we're tired, we're dukkha. We get up, we eat something, we do something, we eat again, we do something again, and then we go to sleep. From the day we are born to the day we die. And we call that fun, And we have to work hard, to maintain this body. I mean, each one of you, has to go to work, to earn some money, to get an apartment, to get some clothes, to get food. And what kind of joy does this body give us? Dukkha. But people don't see it this way. That's a problem. We don't see it this way. We think it is normal, to take care after our body, to house it, to clothe it, to feed it, We think that is normal because everyone around us does the same thing, so we don't think of it much. But when you look at it in this way, getting up, eating something, doing something, eating something, sleeping, getting up, I mean, where's the fun of it? Why? What is the purpose, of being born like this? Okay, we can create things, We can build skyscrapers, or we can build airplanes, we can build computers, But they all disappear, over the time. So what is the fun? What is the fun? How much dukkha does this body give us? And you think it is the first noble truth? It is important. It is important to understand, how much dukkha this body gives us, Because we think so highly of it. We love this body so much, Because we never look at the other side. We don't look, how much work we have to put into it. Most of the people, most of the human beings, 95%, they put into maintaining this body. And the 5%, they just entertain themselves, or get drunk. 95% of our time we use up, to maintain this body. And what does it give us? How much pleasure does it give us? Think about it, Evaluate it. We wouldn't buy, we wouldn't go into a shop and buy a product like that constantly, needs our attention. We want to have, when we buy something, when we work hard for it to buy it, we want to have, want the utmost use of it, But with this body, it needs constantly our attention. When it's sick, it needs our attention. When it's hungry, it needs our attention. When it's tired, it needs our attention, So how much time do we have, To look after the one who is within this body, to look after the driver, because the body itself doesn't do anything, it is just a biological robot. If the programmer sleeps, this body sleeps. If you go into samadhi, that's where we can see it. If you go into samadhi, the body is just still, completely still, it doesn't move. So without the chitta, without the driver, it would not move. It needs an intention to move this body. The body doesn't move on its own. The only thing that it does, it breathes on its own. And the blood flows. That's all. That's why I call it a biological one. And we have programmed it for 15 years, 16 years. When we went to university, 20 years. Just to get it working. Wow. And how long do we have time to use it? Maybe 20 years, maybe 30 years. And then it starts to break down. Then it constantly needs to go to the repair shop. We don't call it repair shop, we call it doctor or hospital. But actually it is a repair shop. See it as it is, Please, doctor, can you help me? Can you repair my illness, And sometimes he can, sometimes he can't. But the chitta is not affected by anything. But it identifies so much with this body that it thinks it is the body. We think we are the body. That's why we are so afraid of death. What is that? You slip into the body, you slip out of the body, and you slip into a new existence. What's so frightening about it? Why are people so afraid of death? Because they don't know what is happening. We actually don't know what is happening tomorrow. You can be down at the beach of Penang and another flood is coming and you're gone. You don't know. A thunderstorm, just like, it hits, constantly the Philippines, Tornado or whatever, typhoon they call it, And people die. Or the tsunami, of 2004.
I witnessed the tsunami.
Huh?
I witnessed the tsunami. And did to survive. I was at the beach.
Where? In Phuket?
No, in Royal Hotel.
Oh.
I witnessed.
Yeah, but that wasn't a big one,
No, it's that big.
Yeah? So you were lucky.
Yes.
We don't know. The tsunami in 2004 killed 250,000 people. One go. It was the biggest one. And it can happen anytime. The scientists calculated it released only half of its energy, the earthquake. The rest of it is still there, it just waits, until it breaks out again. So we can die any day, We don't know, but maybe we can live on. So we shouldn't postpone, our business till tomorrow. We shouldn't postpone, meditation and training the chitta until tomorrow. Because when I'm 65, maybe we don't get 65. Then I can relax. No. The chitta, you know the kilesas that are in your heart. They say, when I'm finished with this, I'm doing this. When you're finished with that, you have another idea. You never do what you intended to do. People 65 now, I'm relaxing, then looking for new work. Or looking for this or looking for that. Do it right now, and then everything is okay. Look after the chitta. Take care of the body. It needs to be taken care of. You need to put it to sleep. You need to feed it. But use the minimum amount of time and use the maximum amount of time to train the chitta. So that we don't have to be afraid of death. People are afraid of death because they know they actually go down. They go down to hell. Yeah? That's why they don't want to die. Yeah? Some people you see, I don't want to die, because they know where they're going. And their chitta knows where they're going. Yeah? They might not know, yeah? Or they don't want to know where they are going. You want to go to hell? Nobody wants to go to hell. Yeah? So why are we doing the things that lead us to hell? That's a question that you should ask yourself. Yeah? Why do you break the precepts? Yeah? Because it's so fun. Yeah? Drinking alcohol, getting drunk. Yeah? That we don't know, we don't see the dukkha. Yeah? That's why we get drunk. Yeah? We don't want to see the dukkha, we don't want to see the hardship of our life. That's why we get drunk. Yeah? Or we take drugs. Yeah? That's not the way. Seeing the dukkha, reminds us, that, that there's a second noble truth. What is the cause of our dukkha? The cause of our dukkha is constantly wanting something, desiring something. Wanting to be or not wanting to be. People who kill themselves, it's the same thing. It's a desire not to be. They will, they will wonder when they wake up. Yeah? They're still there. It's just that the body has disappeared, and they're in a different realm. Doesn't matter if you kill another person, if you kill yourself, you will end up in hell. And I mentioned, why are we afraid of hell? Because we have been there so often. Why do we want to go to heaven? Because we have been there. Yeah? It's a nice place. Yeah? Very beautiful place. Very beautiful people. Yeah? Or beings. And hell is, it's just hellish. Yeah? It's not a nice place, if you're tortured. Yeah? So keep the 5 precepts from now on, and then it's the end of the matter. Yeah? And see, see. And then look at your life. Yeah? What have you done with your life? Yeah? Have you been, was your intention to acquire as much as possible material wealth? Yeah? You can forget it all when you die. Doesn't bring you any value. Have you acquired any spiritual skills? Yeah? That's the most important question. You want to get out of the roller coaster? There's a way. Yeah? But we need a motivation to get out. That's why we need to see the dukkha. Yeah? That's our motivation to get out. Yeah? Or you can see anicca, yeah? This impermanence, that nothing lasts. Yeah? You build a house, and 20 years later you have to repair it, and then you have to repair it until it falls apart. Yeah? It's not like the old houses who lasted for 700 years. Yeah? Big stones. No, they're just, very thin, plaster and things like that. It breaks down very easy, very cheap. Our society builds very cheap things. Not intended to last. Remember the first cars? They lasted 60, 80 years. Yeah. Nowadays a car lasts 5 years, and then it breaks down. Yeah? And put it to the scrapyard. Yeah? There still are old cars. Yeah? Out there. 80 years, yeah? It's still running. They thought, they built it to last, but nowadays our society is, everything, has to break down, because otherwise the company doesn't make any more money. Your fridge has to break down after 5 years, yeah? Everything, yeah? Otherwise you won't buy a new one. Yeah? So much dukkha in our life, but we don't want to see it. Yeah? working is not so much fun. I mean, for most of us, it is not fun, yeah? To work, go to the office 8 o'clock, leave it at 5 p.m., yeah? And why are we doing it, Because we need some money, to feed the body, to house the body, to clothe the body, and to buy some medicine. That's why we do it. So think about very carefully what you do with your life, yeah? If you want to only acquire material things, when you die, you have to leave them behind, yeah? If you want to acquire spiritual things, you can take them with you. What you take with you is all your karma, yeah? It's a good karma, it's a bad karma. Yeah? Karma comes with intention. Yeah? If I intend to do something, that creates karma. If I intend to say something, it creates karma. If I intend to think something, that creates karma. Be it good karma or bad karma. And that is what we take with us. And that is what is getting reborn. It's a karma. And the karma goes from one country to the next, just like a river, yeah? A river starts, one of the rivers starts in the Tibet, then goes to Burma, to Thailand, to Laos, yeah? And then Vietnam until it goes to the sea. The river is the same, the water is the same, yeah? We just call the parts, where it flows through differently. Yeah? So is it with the karma, that goes through? The karma is the same, yeah? Just change, by going through the different countries, yeah? Gets more water, gets less water, disperse there or disperse there, yeah? And so is it with the different realms of existence, yeah? The karma goes from one realm to the next, yeah? Whatever realm yeah? It's appropriate for the karma to go into. So there's no personality in it, but you can call it, characteristic tendencies. That is what karma is. But characters can change. So when we talk about a personality, when we talk about I, we think something, that is nothing changing. But everything changes, yeah? Our body changes, our thought changes, our idea changes over a lifetime, yeah? And people who are old enough know it, yeah? When they were 20, they were thinking completely different, yeah? They had completely different ideas. It's all is changing, yeah? Nothing is staying the same. Yeah? So with our karma, it's constantly changing. It can develop to the good, and then later on it can develop to the bad. Yeah? That's why I call it roller coaster. Yeah, it's going up and then it's going down, and then it's going up again, and then it's going down again. Yeah? But the Lord Buddha gave us, showed us that there is a door out. Yeah? You don't have to get stuck into this roller coaster forever. And the door out, is the door, is the fourth noble truth. Yeah? That there is a door out is the third noble truth. There's an end of dukkha, it's called. And the path that leads to the end of dukkha is the door out. Yeah? So if you don't want this roller coaster anymore, then get out. The Lord Buddha described it very clearly. Sila, Samadhi, Panna. Keep the 5 precepts, yeah? Train samadhi, train the ability to concentrate on one point, yeah? And develop this awareness that is aware of every intention that you have, yeah? And then develop wisdom. And developing wisdom is done through investigation, through contemplation. And what do we contemplate? Of course, the things that we think is us. So what do we think is us? My body, my feeling, yeah? It's my feeling, yeah? I feel like this, yeah? Women know it very well. They are very proud of their feelings. My feeling, men mostly my thoughts, yeah? My ideas, my opinion, my views, yeah? They are much more stuck on that level, yeah? Women are much more stuck on the emotional or on the feeling level. But it really doesn't matter where we are stuck, we are stuck. Yeah? So understand that these things are not you, are not myself, don't belong to you. Whatever we can see, whatever we can observe, cannot be us, because who is the one who observes it? Huh? I mean, all our life we notice it. We notice a thought comes in, we notice a memory comes in, but we never ask the question, who's the one who notices? Because instantly we say, it's my thought, it's my idea, it's my feeling. But who notices that there's a feeling? Huh? Ask the feeling, do you know your feeling? It doesn't answer. It's a phenomena. A feeling is a phenomena. Yeah? A thought is a phenomena. Memory is a phenomena. It arises and it ceases, passes away. Stays on for a moment and then passes away. Yeah? That's the nature of phenomena. The same thing is for the body, but because it takes too long time, we don't see it so easy. Yeah? It's born and then it stays on and then it dies. Yeah? It's the same thing, it's a phenomenon. And who noticed these phenomena? Who noticed that there's a thought in our head? Yeah? Who noticed that we want to think something? Who noticed that there's a feeling coming in? How can we call it us? When you look at the person next to you, you don't think it is you. Huh? If the person next to you has a feeling, that's his feeling, yeah? Why don't you call it you? Huh? Huh? We've noticed it, yeah? But we weren't really clear about it, that there's something, there's an entity within us, yeah, that just notes all these things, yeah? And whatever you note, you know that you cannot be there. Yeah? There's subject and object, yeah? The subject is aware of the object. The object is normally a phenomena and cannot be aware. Yeah? But the subject can be aware of the object. So we can be aware, or the chitta can be aware of a thought. It can be aware of a memory, it can be aware of a feeling, and it can be aware of the body. Yeah? But it cannot be the things that it is aware of. It can know, yeah? The chitta can know a thought, it can know a feeling, it can know the body, it can even know consciousness, that is so fast, yeah? But it can know it. Yeah? But the chitta cannot know the chitta, because that's what it is. Yeah? But it can know everything that is within the chitta. But it cannot know its own essence, because that's what it is. And this essence of the chitta is for every being. Be it an ant, be it a ghost, be it a human being, be it a deva, it's the same. The chitta is always the same. And that is something that we should understand. I mean, it is like, like in a rain cloud, yeah? I mean, you have water, when it rains, it forms, and while it is dropping, each raindrop is different. Huh? And then one raindrop looks at the others, but I'm more beautiful, yeah? I'm more handsome, yeah? I'm bigger, yeah? I'm more clever, yeah? And then it falls into the sea, and both raindrops become the same essence. Yeah? That's the chitta. The essence of all the beings is the same. Yeah? But we believe, because we have another form, yeah, that we are different. Yeah? And we identify with this form. And we love this form somehow. Like you love this body, yeah? Even though it gives you a lot of trouble, yeah? You don't want to leave it behind. And that is the essence of the citta knows these things, but is not these things. Yeah? It's not the form and it is not the contents of the object that it is aware of. I mean, this understanding, you really should understand this very clearly. And that is the principle of anatta. I mean, the Lord Buddha taught it all. He taught it and taught it and taught it, and people didn't understand. That's not me, he said, that's not me, it's not myself, it doesn't belong to me. Whatever I can observe, whatever I can know of, it cannot be me. But of course the essence of the citta has no personality. Yeah? The personality comes through the form of the raindrop. Yeah? Please turn it off. That's how we develop, yeah? And then we develop this personality and we get caught up in this game, yeah? I mean, everybody of you, probably has seen the youngsters, playing these video games. I mean, in this video game, you take on a personality. And then you play it, you develop this personality until this personality dies, yeah? Next time you play maybe the same game, take on the same personality until you get bored, until you take up another personality. One time you want to be the good guy, and the next time you want to be the bad guy, because the bad guy always seems to win. Huh? But then you die, and then you want to be a good guy. Yeah? I mean, we are stuck, yeah? We're somehow stuck, and this is something that you really should get clear of. We're stuck in a video game called life, yeah? And now even, that is not enough for the people, yeah? While stuck in the video game life, they play other video games, yeah? I heard a few years ago there's another video game on the internet that is called Second Life. They are not happy with their first life, so they take on a second life. They take on a completely different personality, their desires, their wishes, and play this and get lost in it. Yeah? I mean, within the delusion of being in a video game, you play another video game within this delusion. I mean, how do you ever get out of it? Huh? It's already difficult to get out of this delusion, yeah? Or this illusion. It's already difficult because we really think that we are this personality that we think we are. But when we look, and that's what I invite you, you really look at the life, how you develop from 5 years on until now. I mean, have you always been the same person? The body has never been the same. Used to be much more beautiful and younger and more energetic, than it's now. Huh? Our ideas have changed. Our view of life has changed. So what has been constant? Ask yourself. Ask yourself one thing that has been constant. You know what?
Change.
The change is constant. It's a constant change. There's nothing constant. I mean, but we believe, within our heart we believe that there is something that is eternal. Yeah? So change is not eternal. Yeah? You know that. So what is eternal? The one who knows. That is eternal. The essence. That is eternal. It has never been born and it never dies. It just got stuck into this video game. I mean, the Lord Buddha described it a little bit like that, But when he said, the first things, the first human beings or the first beings, yeah? I mean, they were just pieces of earth, put together, That's how, and slowly we developed, yeah? I mean, in order to feed themselves, they just took a piece of earth and ate it, to replenish the energy. Now look at our food, I mean, it is really refined. Look at our body, it is really refined. Yeah? Just look at the first robots, I mean the technical robots, or very crude. Look at the first cars, very crude. Now look at the cars now, or the first airplanes. I mean, over the time we refine it and refine it and refine it. And the more we refine it, the more we get caught up. We think it is amazing. I mean, this body wasn't like that all the time. It was very crude at the beginning. But we start to refine it and refine it. We refine the senses, everything. It's us who built this body. Just like us, who built these robots, or the airplanes, or the cars, or whatever you call it, or the ships. So we create things, and then get caught up in our own creation. And we thought, that is amazing. I mean, nowadays, of course, when you look at the body, how it works, which is amazing. The nervous system, the brains, scientists still don't understand. They create it and they still don't understand it. I mean, of course, put a worker, in a coal mine, and show him an airplane, the inside of an airplane, he won't understand it. I mean, you think it's so amazing. How does that work? It will take him a long time, if he can figure it out, ever out. We are creating these things, and we fall then for our own creation. Just like a programmer, programs a video game and then falls for his own video game. He gets so stuck, And that's a delusion that we live in. But some people like to get deluded, and think it is nice, I mean, I don't mind, it is your life, you take the responsibility for your own life, If you want to get out, the Lord Buddha pointed the way out, Sila, Samadhi, Panya. So, we investigated things. Sila is precepts, the 5 precepts, not harming any living being, not taking what is not given, no sexual misconduct, no lies, no harsh speech, no deception, no alcohol, no drugs. These are the 5 precepts. Samadhi is the ability to concentrate on one point. That's what most people do when they go to Vipassana retreats. That's what they learn. To concentrate on the breath, or to concentrate on the Buddha. And Panya is wisdom. Developing wisdom is understanding the nature of our being. And that's what we have to understand. That's what we have to investigate. We have to investigate the 5 groups that we think is us. We think that we are the body, so we have to investigate it. We think that we are feelings, so we have to investigate them. We think that we are thoughts, so we have to investigate them. We think that we are memories, so we have to investigate them. And in the end, we have to investigate consciousness. What is consciousness? Some of you might remember the old films, You remember that? When they played too slowly, you saw a black bar between each picture. And in the beginning, they were called moving pictures. Because they were just pictures. But they were playing so fast that we got the illusion that there's something moving. That's why it's called moving pictures. Nowadays, we just call it movies, And between each picture, there was a very fine black bar. So, I mean, if the machine was not correct, sometimes we could see it. And that is exactly when consciousness disappears. The next picture is consciousness is there, then it disappears for a moment, and then consciousness comes again. So consciousness is not always there, but it's so fast that we can't see it. Just like, when we watch these movies, we couldn't see the black bar. So we have to investigate them and see that they are not us, they are not me, not mine. And the most problematic thing is this body. And the moment we look in the mirror, we think, today I look bad, or today I look good, or today I look okay. Just put a little bit of makeup on it, comb my hair, then I look okay. It's not me. Have a closer look, in the mirror. What do you see? Yeah? What's that? What is this body? Giving us so much trouble. So investigate this body. Yeah? Investigate it from birth, until death. Yeah. I mean, you have seen people dying. Your parents died. Yeah. Some of your friends might have died. You see them. Yeah? That's the end of our stage. Yeah. It's like Shakespeare said. In this life, on this stage, in this role, in the next life, on that stage, in that role. I mean, he knew it, or he had the inkling of it. Yeah? Goethe said something similar. Yeah? So there were the thinkers, yeah? They had an idea. So investigate this body. See, it's not us, it's not me, it's not myself. Yeah? It's just like our car. Yeah? We get it. In the beginning, when we get it, we love it, yeah? But when it starts to break down, we don't like it anymore. Huh? We constantly have to take it to the repair shop, huh? But, with a car, we can sell it once it breaks down. With this body, we can't sell it. Nobody takes it. And nobody gives us a new one. Huh? So we have to live through the cycle of this body, yeah, in order to get rid of it. See, it's not you, it's not mine, it doesn't belong to me. I mean, this is one of the biggest problems. When you look at the 10 fetters, yeah, the 10 fetters that bind us to this roller coaster, or to the samsara. The first fetter is the fetter of doubt. As I explained this morning, believing that, not believing that there's heaven, not believing that there's hell, not believing that there are beings in heaven or beings in hell, not believing in karma, that there is good karma and bad karma, that there's results of good karma and there's results of bad karma. That is the first fetter. The second fetter is not keeping the 5 precepts, yeah? Just like I explained, Neya. Okay, today I keep them. Tomorrow, let's pass on, The day after I will keep them again. Swinging forth, swinging back, swinging forth, swinging back. Yeah? That is the fetter. That's the second fetter. It's called Sila Bhatta Paramasa, yeah? Fondling with the precept. Yeah? Sila is precept. Yeah? I mean, there's a wrong translation in English. They always call it, fiddling with rules and rituals or what? I don't know where they got this translation from. Sila is very sila. Yeah? Sila is the precepts, the 5 precepts. It's morality, you can translate it as morality. What has it to do with precepts and rituals? With rituals and things like that. So it deludes people, they get a wrong idea about, what the Lord Buddha taught. Yeah? So they don't find the way out if they get a wrong idea, wrong understanding. It's the same thing, translating sati with mindfulness. Yeah? What is mindfulness? The mind is full of one thing, yeah? That is perfect mindfulness, yeah? But it's not sati. Sati is awareness. Yeah? So if you misunderstand these concepts, these important concepts, you're lost. Yeah? You don't find the way out. Awareness is aware of everything that comes into the chitta. Mindfulness is just, one thing, the mind is full of one thing. Sometimes it's full of lots of things. Yeah? Actually, when you call it, it's just the opposite. When you really look at sati, when you really have the experience of sati, it's actually mind emptiness. Yeah? not mindfulness. The mind is completely empty, so it knows what is coming into the mind and what is going out. Yeah? So that is Sat. So the third fetter, the second fetter is, not keeping these precepts. Yeah? The third fetter is identifying with the body. Yeah? And this identification is that we think we are the body. Yeah? If you're born in the car, if you die in the car, you think you are the car. Yeah? Until the Lord Buddha knocks on the window and said, "Hey, get out." And then you, I can get out? Huh? So put the body, I told you one of the contemplations. Yes, I was talking about other contemplations of the body. Yeah? One of the contemplations for the body is, put it in front of you. Cut all the limbs out, or open it up, the way you like it, and look, where's the body? Is the brain the body? Is the nose the body? Is the eyes the body? Is the ears the body? Is the mouth the body? Or is the stomach the body? For some people it is. Is the legs the body? Is the arms the body? What is the body? They're just body parts. Yeah? The Lord Buddha gave a very good example. Yeah? He said, if you have a wagon or if you have a cart, yeah, and you put it in all the bits and pieces, where's the cart? There's just a wheel, there's just nuts and bolts, there's planks, yeah? Where's the cart? It's a mental construction. Yeah? So is it with the body part? Is the heart the part? Is the heart the body? And then put it back together. And when you put it all out, who's sitting there? Yeah? When you see all the body parts in front of you, yeah? Who's sitting there? Who sees these body parts? Yeah? And then put them back on, yeah? And then put them out again. Until you see there's a distance, it separates out. Yeah? And as I said, you might have to do it 100 times, 1,000 times, 1,000,000 times, yeah? before it really becomes clear. Once the heart understands, that's it, then this fetter is broken. And if the first 3 fetters are broken, then you can enter the stream. And that is, open the door to the deathless. Yeah? Open the door to Nibbana. Entering the stream means, you have at most 7 more lives to go. Yeah? It's much better than endless lives to go. Huh? So at least, aspire for something, that brings you out of this roller coaster. Unless, of course, you enjoy it. Huh? Next life, the same thing. Huh? Life after life after life. Huh? And next life, we might not be in the same good position. Yeah? We might be looking from the ghost realm on all these human beings. I wish I would have done better. I wish I would have done better. Yeah. Now they can go, our hunger for that is so great, that we can't even practice. It's very difficult to obtain a human birth, yeah, the Lord Buddha said. Yeah? Remember that. Very difficult. So, if you are... The second thing that is very difficult, if you obtain a human birth, to find the true Dhamma. Huh? Look at the people, look at the people in the West, yeah? Have they found the true Dhamma? Or in wherever, in Africa, yeah? Or in South America, or in America, yeah? Or even in China. Yeah? Where's the true Dhamma? Mostly Thailand. Thailand, parts of Laos, parts of Cambodia, parts of Myanmar, northern Myanmar, and parts in Sri Lanka, parts of Sri Lanka. That's where the Dhamma is. But the true Dhamma is mostly in Thailand. I mean, why is it the true Dhamma mostly in Thailand? Because Thailand had the most arahants in the last 100 years. And that is always a sign. Yeah? I mean, the Lord Buddha said, if they are one of these aryas, yeah, Sotapanna, Sakadagami, Anagami, Arahant, that means that there is a true Dhamma. Yeah? And if there are lots of arahants, like in Thailand, there have been over 100 arahants just within the last 100 years. Yeah? Luang Pu Man was the founder of the forest tradition. Yeah? So that there's the true Dhamma. So I mean, if people are born as human beings, that is already difficult. Yeah. If you were born in Africa, I mean, you would have never get in contact with the Dhamma. Yeah. So you're lucky. Yeah. You got in contact with the Dhamma. Yeah. And now you got in contact with the true Dhamma, yeah? From the Thai forest tradition. And then the third thing that is most difficult is to meet an Arahant or to meet a Buddha. So if some of you have met an Arahant, I mean, more you can't get. Yeah? That is the utmost. So next life you might be born in Africa, if you get a human life. Play on the drums. Or born as a monkey, huh? Then we have to wait for the next Lord Buddha to come. So that means, make the most of it, yeah? Especially, if you met an Arahant. Make the most of it. But most of the people in Thailand, they have met, they have not only met one Arahant, they met quite a few. หลวงปู่ชอบหลวงปู่แว่นหลวงปู่อ้อหลวงปู่ขาวหลวงปู่ลุงตมาบัวหลวงปู่ฟัน so many of them หลวงปู่ซิงค์หลวงปู่ชุน so many of them. So the Thais, I mean, they had good karma. They were born in Thailand. Ajahn Martin didn't have good karma. He was born in Germany. But he found his way to Thailand. So in the end, he had some good karma.
Affinity.
Huh?
Affinity.
No, it is, of course it is affinity, but it's also good karma, yeah? Yeah. It could come to meet Luang Mahamua and to be with him, for 16 years. So, coming back, make the best out of it, yeah? Because you don't know if your next life as a human being, you're beating the drums in Africa. And you believe in all these medicine men, I mean, they make all these gestures, and things like that, yeah? Who knows? So, I mean, you have this life, you know the Dhamma, yeah? You know the true Dhamma, yeah? So, I mean, go as far as you can go, yeah? Or sometimes even run, yeah? Especially, if you don't have more work to do, if you're already retired, yeah? I mean, what else is there, I mean, there are two options, killing time, wasting time, or making some effort, yeah? What's the option that you take? I mean, that's up to you. Killing time, wasting time, yeah? Watching TV, yeah, it's killing time, yeah? You can't wait to die, huh? That's why you kill the time, huh? So, I mean, once we have cut down on the first three fetters, then we can enter the Sotapanna, yeah? We can enter the stream that leads us to Nibbana. Yeah? And then the big part, yeah? After that, the main part of the work comes. Yeah? That's what I was talking sometimes yesterday about it, investigation of the body. That's where greed and hatred is rooted. Yeah? Opening it up, seeing the loathsomeness, dealing with greed, dealing with anger, learning how to deal with greed and anger. Because it's the fourth and fifth fetter. This body is the fourth and fifth fetter. They can only go in tandem. You cannot eliminate the third fetter without the fourth fetter without the fifth fetter. You cannot eliminate greed without eliminating hate. You cannot eliminate good without eliminating bad. When there is black, there is white. When there is good, there is bad. That's a dualistic, or conventional reality we live in. Where there is black, there is white. Where there is good, there is evil. Where there is greed, there is hate. So you can only eliminate them at the same time. So, and that is, you do it with investigation of the body. Seeing the loathsomeness, in order to understand how greed and how hate arises. When I was talking about it, now be aware, don't do it around your family, or while you're still working, because you get really irritated. When you really see the true nature of the body, you really get irritated. And this irritation goes out in anger very fast. So be careful. Normally don't do it only on a retreat, or do it, when you're living in a monastery or a place like that. Don't do it at home. At home you can do, dissecting this body, and look what the body is. That is not bringing up a lot of anger. Or looking at birth, looking at death, that doesn't bring up the anger. Anger is brought up, by looking at the loathsomeness, looking at the contents of your stomach. That's when anger comes up. Or looking at the blood, or ripping out. That's where anger comes up. Because we destroy the favorite toy of our kilesas. And they get really pissed. And that pissing, that being pissed doesn't come out while we do the meditation, while we do the contemplation. It comes out afterwards and we don't see it. It's so fast. That's why I warn everybody, if he really is into contemplation of the body, into the loathsomeness of the body, be careful. Don't be around people. Or only other meditators. But that's how you cut the fourth and fifth fetter. That's how you cut greed and hate. And then, at that time, you're already anagami. Once you cut it. You're not coming back. Non-return, it's called, non-return. Doesn't come back as a human being, it doesn't come back as a deva. You got rid of the body. But this anagami still has 50% of the work to do. He got only rid of 5 fetters. Now he has to get rid of the 5 higher fetters. So he has to find, we have greed and hate. So he has to find ways, greed and hate are rooted in the body. So, where's delusion rooted? In thoughts and memories. So he has to dissect thoughts and memories to get rid of delusion. They're just as rooted, in thoughts and memories, just like, greed and hatred are rooted in the body. So once you dissect, thoughts and memories, then you get rid of delusion. And then you slowly can get rid of the 5 higher fetters. The attachment to form, the attachment to non-form. What is it then? Conceit. And then restlessness, and then at last avijja. That's a path. And then you can end up in Nibbana. That's a path out, so it's up to you if you want to go. Or if you want to get stuck, and dream about hitting the trough. Or maybe going first to hell, or to the ghost realm. We acquired a lot of hell time during our life, huh? All these lies, drinking, stealing. So acquired it. Not really bad people, they still acquired it, hell time. What is it? So that is the teaching of the Lord Buddha. That is the path out. The 10 fetters. Cutting how to cut these 10 fetters. How to get rid of greed and hate. How to enter the stream. It's all explained. So it's up to you, to make a decision what you want to do with the rest of your life. Some of you are old enough, they have nothing else to do. What else do you have to do? Waiting for death. Killing the time. Playing around, fooling around. That's what we call. We have so many times for wasting time. Fooling around, killing time. Okay, now we make a short break, and then you can ask questions,